ISE 2024, it is day 3 and we have landed on the PMC stand with Paul. How are you doing, mate?
I'm good. Still standing after day 3. So,
Which is positive, to say the least. So it's only been around 6 months since we last had a little chat, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. EI Live?
It was. So we're still going to talk about the CI range because it's important.
Indeed.
So give us a little background of the speakers that you're showing here.
So if you've seen the EI Live video, you will be familiar with the range, but here at ISE 2024, we're showcasing our incredible CI product. An on-wall and in-wall product, incredibly versatile, all ATL, as every PMC product is, to give you that true, rich, detailed, uncompromising sound. So we've got the 5 models here on display, all the way from the Ci140 Sub back to the Ci30, which is most commonly used for anything Atmos or surround, but a fantastic little speaker. We are also showcasing some new products. We've got a new amplifier here this year, and also some of our Pro product that we're seeing starting to cross over into that CI space.
Oh, amazing. So in terms of the CI range that you've got here, where can I come and see it in the UK?
So these are all available on demonstration at our office at Biggleswade, just south of Cambridge, or we've also got the studio in London, which I know you've been to. So
it's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And okay, I know we've been through it, but just give me a little background on the technology in these, because it is pretty unique. Isn't it?
It's very unique to PMC, and it's the heart of any product we have. So the ATL line is what gives us that uncompromised, that full, rich, detailed bass, and it's unique to PMC with the ATL. And this has been from day one back in 1991, from when the company was founded.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what is brand new here today?
So brand new is the new Power 750 8-channel amplifier, which I can show you.
Right, let's go and have a look.
So here we have the new Power 750 8-channel power amplifier from us, designed in conjunction with Linear Research. This is 8 by 750 a channel, or bridgeable into 1500. We have got all DSP settings in here, limiters, loads of different filters. It is a truly customizable power amplifier, and it kind of bridges that space between the CI and the Pro world where we sit, so it can be used across the full range of product.
Okay. Has this been specifically designed for like CI installers, or is it very much a product that is used in commercial but comes in?
Yeah, both, absolutely. There's no limiting factor on it, so it's absolutely sits at home in both environments.
And I'm guessing it's been designed to run your speakers.
Yeah. We've worked very closely with the guys to get this exactly right for that kind of neutral, open sound we like.
Cool. What else you got? Come on, show me.
So just a couple of Pro products on the stand as well, where we're seeing that crossover again I mentioned. We've got the 6.2 Pro monitor, and next to Ben we have the incredibly impressive 8.2 XBD, and that is a front LCR that will certainly upgrade your system.
I've heard these, I think.
Saw those at the studio.
And they're all right, to say the least. Yeah, they're pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And have we got these in there, or is it just CI?
No, so in the cinema itself, we're using the full CI system in there. So we've got CI140s,
Okay.
45s and 30s. So we're running a 9.4.4 system in there.
Okay, and does it run off these amps?
It is indeed, yeah.
Ooh, okay.
And we're grateful also to Trinnov, who we've partnered with for the loan of the Altitude 32 in there.
Does a good job.
It certainly does.
Yeah.
But the whole idea and what we're trying to get that message across is from the studio to home.
Yeah.
And that's so important with what we're showing here, because what we do have in the demo room is something a little bit special.
Yeah,
And
it's not actually a product.
No, it's a person.
Yeah.
We're going to introduce you to Heff, who is a full-time music producer, and he'll give you a little bit more background on his knowledge of the industry and why he likes PMC.
Cool, let's go meet Heff. So we're lucky to have Heff with us, a real-life music producer. Is that correct?
I'm a producer and a mix engineer. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
give me a little bit more about your background before we go into this room.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
You have to go way back
yeah, I
into
know. We don't have 40-year CV, please.
So I come from a background of pro music. So
Cool.
I mix and produce lots of music and have done since the 80s.
Wow.
So I started in a recording studio in London called Psalm, which was home of an amazing producer called Trevor Horn, who produced a lot of big hits in the 80s. Came up through that and have created a career for myself in music industry. So I come from the pro side, and I know PMC because of Pro.
Okay.
So I don't really know about CI. I don't even know what CI is, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, I do, but it's not my world. My world is Pro mixing.
Yeah.
And in that world, PMC are top of the game. They're
You really think? Yeah.
No.
I mean, yeah.
No,
It's interesting to hear
they're
from your
expensive.
side.
They're
Yeah.
expensive, but they are.
They're what everyone wants.
They're what everyone.
Or
wants.
everyone aspires to.
Yeah, well, I mean, everyone has personal taste. There's them and another company, and between the two of them, they take up the bulk of the top end of pro audio, and the difference between PMC and their competitors is the clarity, the lack of distortion.
Yeah.
And that is, for a mix engineer, that's a dream come true.
Of course.
Because particularly in modern day music right now, the most important thing for the basis of your mix is the bass end. And that generally right now, it's not always the case, but generally right now is a relationship between the kick drum and the bass.
Okay.
So in hip hop, that's the kick drum and the 808. In funk or something, it's a bass guitar and the kick drum. You've got to get, that's what your whole mix is based on.
Yeah.
You've got to get that solid and you've got to get that clear.
Okay.
So it's very difficult to get that clear if there's distortion, because it's like me looking at you like this.
Okay. Yeah.
I can't see where you begin and end.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't, if there's distortion in the bass end in a speaker, I can't decipher where the kick drum ends and where the bass begins.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I see where you're coming from. And so how does that transfer into this CI market from a surround sound perspective?
So the reason I'm here actually is to reinforce the fact that PMC's background is pro.
Yeah.
So in the pro world, we're mixing Dolby Atmos music and stereo music on PMCs. So the magic of PMC is that they translate that into the CI market and the home market.
Yeah.
So that the way we mixed it gets directly translated into the way people hear it in their homes.
Yeah.
So
okay.
that's because the difference between this system, which is a CI system, and the Pro system at the studio in London, there's no real sonic difference.
It's amazing.
It's just about SPL.
Yeah.
So that is incredible. So that means that some of these mixes that I play to people at this exhibition all day
I sat down
were
the
done
other day.
in a PMC studio.
Yeah.
And they sound exactly the same.
Yeah.
So that's really why I'm here, just to kind of go, yeah, PMC are the real deal in the pro world. They are the pinnacle of the market, and the reason they're the pinnacle of the market is because of that clarity. And you don't get there. There's loads of stands around here.
Yeah, yeah.
And the bass end will blow you away. It's incredible.
Yeah.
It'll make you feel slightly sick as well, but
Yeah.
it is very powerful.
Yeah.
But it's wildly inaccurate. Okay. And for a mix engineer, that's a nightmare. Because then what happens is you do a mix in your room, it sounds great.
And
You go to a stadium where there's a hell of a lot of subwoofers doing their thing, and when you get that connection between the kick and the bass wrong, you want to run away and hide.
Yeah, it's just messy.
It's messy. You don't want it. What you want is clarity.
I've got a question for you. I mean, I sat in here yesterday and I listened to this room, and the word I would use for the room is effortless.
Yeah.
It's not forced upon you.
Mm-hmm.
It feels a comfortable listen.
Yeah.
Without feeling overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And that's how I like to enjoy music. That's how I like to enjoy my kind of film experiences.
Yeah.
Do we think that the Dolby music or the Dolby Atmos music is a bit of a fad, or do we think that that's just here to stay? Because when you see these waves of new things coming in, and I know Dolby Atmos and Dolby audio it's not like it's brand new, but definitely it's come to the market more with Apple.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think it's a bit of a fad, or do we think that's here to stay and people are going to start listening to it like in that realm at home?
Without wishing to be a pain, I'll bounce it back at you because you experienced it.
It's incredible.
It's incredible.
Now
But
it requires a lot of kit.
Yeah, it requires a lot of kit. It does fold down into headphones.
Yeah.
And for some people, that's also incredible.
Yeah.
Honestly, for me, it's not so incredible because I'm unlucky and the shape of my ears don't quite work for it.
Okay.
But they'll get that technology better. Apple are backing this, and they're backing it very hard.
And when they do that, it's
When
just
they
for
do
a
that,
reason.
they generally, they don't tend to get that wrong. So I don't think it's a fad at all, because there is an emotional response. Look, music it creates emotion.
Yeah.
What you experienced yesterday is an emotion that was stirred up because you've heard music in a way that you're not used to hearing music in. So you were immersed in a sound with very high-end speakers, so there was no distortion, there was no filter between you and the music. So it hit you emotionally. And yesterday I sat here, some people were close to tears because they'd never heard songs like that before. Now that's pretty amazing.
It's cool
to be able to do that. So that doesn't sound like a fad to me.
And it's just interesting. You see these. I mean, I've been doing these shows for a long time, so I see things that come through, and it's interesting to hear from a professional who's at the front end of it. They birth it almost. They're the ones. So it's interesting to see how you feel about creating it. Is it something that you enjoy doing as well?
Of course,
it's different.
Honestly, so at the studio in London, we have an amazing PMC 1116 system. And I wish I could, and I keep meaning to do it. I want to put a GoPro at the front, just to watch people's faces, because when they're working or they hear the system for the first time, it's just elation and it's just happiness. It's just and that's lovely. So I get what you're saying, and I've done the same. I've been here around much longer than you. I've seen it all come and go, and I can't guarantee anything. All I can say is this system creates an emotional response in people that I've not seen with 5.1 or 7.1 or any of those sorts of things. It's different. Now, granted, I'm not putting this in my living room. But a lot of people will want to and will experience it, and that's amazing. So, and there's all sorts of, in a car it can be. I've heard it in a Tesla, and it sounds incredible. And there are all sorts of sound bars that recreate a version of it. And that's not a load of speakers around your house, and it sounds great. So, I'm not a clairvoyant, but I don't think it's a fad purely because of the emotional response you see.
I've got to give it to you. I came in here yesterday. I listened to a lot of demos. And it can sometimes be tiresome on the ears, to say the least. And it, like I say, it was an enjoyable experience, and that's how I like to take my music in. Is there anything in terms of the software and everything else that you enjoy in here as well, or any other parts of the PMC world? Because I mean, I see some of these things that especially the visuals that they use, they mix.
What you're looking at here is the Dolby renderer. That's not PMC.
Okay.
So Dolby made that, and it's great because there is for those of you who don't know, you can see the objects moving around the room. So when you visualize something, it kind of reinforces what you're hearing, and that's great. PMC on their pro side, they do some amazing software that allows you to EQ and align the speakers individually and collectively, and that's great because every room is slightly different, and as you travel around the world mixing in different rooms, you want to tweak it a bit.
Of course.
But generally software, if I notice it, it's a pain in the ass. I don't want to notice software. I don't want it to get in the way. I want it to do what I want it to do, and that's it.
Exactly that.
So,
well, Heff, I appreciate your time today, mate. And it's amazing to kind of get the experience and the knowledge from someone from your side of things and coming into our world. From my perspective, I could sit here or stand here and talk to you all day about this stuff because I'm a nerd. And I love it.
But actually, what you said is really powerful to me, which is certainly I am here because of music. And if I can find a system that allows me to listen to music in a way that gives me a different emotional response, it's a winner. And that's what you experienced yesterday. So
cheers, Heff. Appreciate your time, mate.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Thanks for coming over. Really appreciate you visiting the booth. If you are still at ISE 2024, make sure you come and check us out. Booth 2C700.
Well done.
It's nearly got that. We have got full Atmos demonstration running. We're showing movies. We can talk you through Atmos music mixing as well. So it'll still be great to see you.
Brilliant. Thanks for your time, mate. It's incredible. So get yourself down here if you are here and come and experience it for yourself. Cheers.
Brilliant. Thank you.